Molweni Tonzi.
Hayi Madonsela kunjani?
Ngkhona kunjani?
Siphilile
Khona. Inkosi.
nani?
Hayi
Oh,
siphilile udinga ukusebenza.
hayi siphilile siyavuya unibona.
Emnyameni mos.
Sisemnyameni manje. Hayi ngizakwenza ndaba emnyama.
Hello. Hello. What? Oh. Yeah. Link ngithumele. Yeah. Is it? Ngithumele. Thought I missed you. Okay. Let me say, Konjilo it. Sorry? Imlambo. Oh, okay. Oh, thought I missed your name. Ngobuloni utholile musu. Ubani wa deputy minister. Not it. Yeah. Okay, sure. Literally. Huh?
How are you?
Sure. Hello, Chair.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine, yourself, Chair.
I'm fine. Yes. I'm fine. I'm ready for the meeting.
Yes, I'm still admitting members.
Admit, you will inform me.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry about this. I told the people to stay safe, but what if I told you that we had a reason and intention behind doing that? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, Mr. King.
Morning, Mr. Jacobs.
How are you doing?
No, I'm fine. Yourself?
Good, good. Are we starting 9:30 or 10?
9:30.
Oh, okay. I thought I was late, but
I see you have been joining with different. So we've been struggling to join.
yeah, I struggled to join a little bit. But yeah.
Morning, King. Morning, colleagues. How are you?
Fine. Yourself?
I'm great, thank you.
Yes.
Not so great.
Why?
I don't know if all the colleagues is on. I must just say I was test positive for COVID last night. So,
Is it?
yeah. So everybody must just check themselves. I don't know if I picked it up in on the you know, oversight. I don't think so, because it's long ago. So, but colleagues must just check themselves and be safe.
Okay. Thank you for the warning. And
No, good
take
luck.
care of yourself.
Good luck, Mr. Kruger, MP Kruger. Just isolate and we make prayers for your speedy recovery.
Thank you. I think it was a kiss. I think that was a kiss at one night in the hotel between me and you. I think that was that that kiss.
Hey, if you want to be implicated, please implicate yourself. Don't implicate everybody, bro.
Only to kiss more honorable members. Oh, I thought I was the only one.
And also,
Okay.
don't blame us for where you got it. It's in the air, so I think it is what it is. I got the COVID at least twice already, December this year, and also with the first wave. So I'm fully vaccinated now. I took my second jab on Friday, and I'm fully vaccinated now. But I still take precaution. I still keep my mask on when I in public spaces. I keep social distance. So we can't be too safe. So good luck, and
I also had my second. I also had my second jab the 12th of August. So you know, I feel more comfortable about it. But you never know what's going. It's the uncertainty that worries me. What's going to happen with me with the next 2 weeks? But really, my doctor is on it, so I will drink whatever he say I must drink, and then see what's happening here. It's one of those things. So
no, I think anxiety is a key thing. So I would also encourage you, don't be too anxious about these things. Do the steaming and do the things that the doctor has prescribed, and rest as much as you need to, because you also need to give your immune a chance to do its thing.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thanks for that.
Chairperson.
The lion has entered. Good morning, everyone. The lion has entered.
Good morning, Honorable April. Chairperson.
Good morning, young lion.
Who is the lion?
Braking.
Yes, Chairperson.
Yes.
I think we can start.
Can we start, King?
Yes, I think we can start now, Chair.
Thank you. Can you flash the
recording in progress?
Good morning, honorable members, our officials, and our minister and the deputy minister. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate our team yesterday during the debate in all the portfolio committees. The ANC was leading, but I'm happy about my last born here in this committee. He appreciated the trip, and I think if we can move with that spirit, we'll be able to build this organization. Also, the whip, thanks. You demonstrated leadership as well as Honorable April. You were there to emphasize our observation as well as our recommendations. Thank you so much. And also the DM, keep up the spirit. I believe moving together, we'll be able to build our country. And let me really welcome again the Minister and the Deputy Minister in this portfolio committee. You are warmly welcome, and we believe that we will move together during this difficult period to make sure that our economy of our country is being recovered. Our people who are at pains are being assisted. I think yesterday's debate assisted all of us. There were big brains there without fear or favor. We appreciate that. As government, we need to accept those criticism from members of parliament because it's part of their oversight. Today's meeting is to hear or be briefed by the department on what they have assessed during this difficult period in the two provinces, which is KZN as well as Gauteng, so that we can be able to have their plan and move forward. Because we can't have a program of action as portfolio committee without their plans after they have done this assessment. So allow me to open this meeting officially. We'll now move to the next item, which is apologies and roll call. I will request our official to take us through. Braking, do you have any apologies?
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, members. Good morning, Minister and Deputy Minister, and good morning, colleagues. Chairperson, the apologies that I have received, it is the apology of Mr. Mieni, who indicated that he is starting from one of the chief's mother has passed away where he stays, so he started there. Then you can join the meeting later. So that's the apology that I received so far, Chair. And then in the platform, what I've observed is the presence of Honorable Matulelwa, Inkosi Tuli, Honorable Krista, Honorable Jacobs, Honorable Lubengo, Honorable De Villiers, Honorable Hein April, and Honorable Hendricks. If there is another member that he or she can indicate. And also recognize the presence of the Minister, Honorable Stella Ndabeni Abrams, Deputy Minister Dumo, and then I've also seen the presence of the DG, Mr. Mkumani, Mandla Stole, who's working the office of the Deputy Minister, Dominic Vincent, Zandile Mavundla, who's in the department, to Miss Folo, who is with the agency, and then Kosnat Mbata, who's also the CEO of the agency. So those are people that I've seen so far, Chair.
Thank you, King. Let me also acknowledge our agency in our midst. You are warmly welcome. I will now move to the next agenda item, which is adoption of the agenda. I think we have noted Honorable Mieni's apology that he will join us late, and also appreciate the presence of the DM as well as the deputy minister, the minister as well as the deputy minister. I thought, okay, she will indicate the time she's going to lead her team. I can't render that item on her behalf. I mean the minister. Can I have a mover for the adoption of the agenda amongst our members? Any member? Yes.
Chairperson,
Yes.
I move for the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you, Honorable Lubengo. Any seconder?
Chairperson,
Yes.
I, Honorable April, move a second that move.
Thank you, Honorable April. The agenda is duly adopted. We'll now move to the next item, which is going to be rendered by the department. I will invite the minister to lead us in this one. She's the one who's going to hand over the official who's going to brief us. Honorable Minister, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson. Good morning to all honorable members of the Portfolio Committee, the guests invited by the Portfolio Committee, and of course the entire delegation that may be watching us today. Chairperson, firstly, let me express our appreciation for your invite to come and brief yourselves on the work and the impact that has happened. Colleagues, as we're all aware, in the recent weeks or months, South Africa was faced with a tragedy that nobody projected, and that led some not being able to generate income. Of course, majority that were in business, they had lost their income. The impact has been huge, not only in their income, but also in the entire economy of the areas where they operate in. Because wherein small businesses were able to pay taxes, then this meant that they couldn't be able to pay taxes, which is why, as a responsible government, we then took a decision that we need to come up with a recovery plan that must assist those that have been affected. Of course, in this instance, honorable members, ours is to talk specifically on the work that we're doing as the department in order to mitigate the negative impact that has been faced by those that were affected in our category. We have tried to come up with different options in terms of the packages in order to meet them halfway. And this we do not because we are saying we are rewarding what happened in the provinces that were affected. But we do this because we have a responsibility to protect livelihoods, and this requires that any caring government must come on board to save those that they did not deliberately go out and destroy their own businesses. But as I said, the unforeseen circumstances led to them not being able to do that they were doing every day in their lives. Of course, this builds again from the COVID that has hit us hard, not only as a country, but as the world. And therefore, it's a double tragedy for those that we faced, which is why, again, we said, let everybody come on board in order to assist when necessary. And the introduction of the packages that we provided through our state-owned entities, the agency CIFA and CEDA, has really come a long way. And in this regard, Honorable Chairperson, I would like to invite the Director General of the department, and I am aware that also the CEOs are here, that will talk into details of the packages that we offered. The packages that we are offering, of course, we had to advertise, call for those that were affected. We had put up a clear criterion that must be followed in terms of who can be a beneficiary. But at the center of it was to ensure that in everything that we'll do in processing that intervention, we follow the law to the letter. We had taken a decision. We really wouldn't want to see ourselves being called to Parliament to come and explain why did we abuse or misuse the state resources. This is why you would note that the pace of the disbursement of the funds has not been fast, because we had to make sure that we follow the PFMA and all other legislations that are governing us whilst we are trying to intervene. This is why, once more, Honorable Chairperson, would like also to appeal to all members of Parliament to help us spread the message to their constituencies so that these packages can really be undertaken by those that are true beneficiaries. We are aware that there's been scammers that have tried their best by issuing messages, designing posters to say people must register and pay certain fees, and you had issued a stern warning to those that are involved in such scams. So we want to caution and also alert the members of Parliament to help us spread that message. We never charge beneficiaries or intended beneficiaries for the services that we are offering. We only charge when necessary in terms of the loans, not to say for you to submit an application, this is how much you must pay. Honorable Chairperson, with your permission, allow me to invite the Director General of the Department of Small Business Development. DG, over to you.
Thank you, Minister. Good morning to the honorable members. I will project the presentation from my side. As the Minister has indicated, Chair, I'll be taking you through the presentation that we've put together. We are working as a portfolio. It is ourselves, the department, together with the two entities, CEDA and SAFER. This is the outline of the presentation, where we are presenting two programs, and we'll also bring to the attention of the members progress that we've made so far since we opened the two schemes. The purpose of the presentation is indeed to present the support that we are offering to small businesses, small and medium enterprises, as well as informal businesses that have been affected by the recent looting and unrest. As part of the background, we are all aware that SMEs in both the informal as well as the formal sector have been affected by the recent riots and looting. And we are also clear that the looting destroyed businesses across all sectors. So in terms of the support that we are providing, we are not restricting it to particular sectors, but all SMEs that have been affected will be supported by the department. We're also saying the impact is not only on the informal and formal SMEs in the retail sector, but even in all other sectors, including the services sectors, because in some instances, people decided to take the equipment that belong to these SMEs. In some instances, they damaged their properties. In some, they looted their stock. So we will be supporting in ensuring that our SMEs do recover and are able to get back and operate. The destruction in particular of the business infrastructure was very severe. So we need to mobilize resources to restore law and order in order to protect property and safeguard economic infrastructure, which are the discussions that are taking place at government level, including in the security cluster. There were disruptions in the supply chains, more especially in cases where stock was not able to reach shelves. Informal businesses not able to ply their trade, resulting in loss of income. This we know that will result in increased poverty, unemployment, and decrease in the growth of the GDP. We are just depicting here a picture which is not very good. We are saying this recent looting and unrest made the situation which was bad to be more difficult. We know that even before COVID, we were experiencing low economic growth rates, unemployment, poverty, inequality. But when COVID hit us, we know that during hard lockdown in particular, a number of businesses were not operating. We even started with the process of getting at least the spaza shops to start operating under level 4, which we know that this also affected the small businesses in particular because they were not able to do anything to generate any sort of income. Then the protests where people ransacked malls, shopping centers. This also led to a destruction of property, restricted mobility because goods were not able to move across the country. People really did decimate the infrastructure that is available, including business infrastructure, especially for those businesses that do not have business insurance, which will definitely result in more job losses, because people, if their businesses are not operating, the owners of those businesses would not ask their people to come to work. We know that this will definitely result in increase in unemployment, which we are experiencing as a country. We know that it will drag, the economic recovery, because we have started to see some green shoots as presented by studies through the IMF that our economy was expected to turn around, and we're seeing some really good results as per the presentations by State SA in recent months. According to the information that we have received from South African Property Owners Association as well as Business Leadership South Africa, the estimated costs were around 1.5 billion in stock that has been lost, damage to the tune of 15 billion recorded on property and equipment. More than 800 retail stores were looted and 100 were completely burned. This also impacted negatively on about 50,000 informal traders as well as 40,000 businesses. To date, we had 150,000 jobs that are reported to be at risk. Therefore, we had to come up with this package. We know that we have to also move with speed and make sure that we support our businesses to recover and start operating. This is the first package, which is we call Business Recovery Support Program, which is focusing on uninsured businesses, because we know that some, especially those that are supported through SIFA, for example, most of them are insured, but there are quite a number of businesses that are not insured. We'll be supporting them with working capital, including stock, equipment, furniture, as well as fittings, because we know that people did not just take stock, they really destroyed properties and they took machinery, whatever they could lay their hands on. And we'll also be supporting even those enterprises that have existing funding facilities with other lenders, because we know that most businesses, they do have facilities, but we cannot exclude them because they will never be able to pay back the money they owe the other lenders. The support that we're offering, Chair, it's blended finance, which is a combination of a grant and a loan. And we are clear that as a department that is responsible for enterprise development, especially for SME development, we need to offer this kind of support. If I can just give a simple example, if someone comes to us requiring a loan of 2 million, which is the maximum amount that we can offer, it means this person will only have to pay back 840,000 back to us. So the other money will never, he or she will never have to pay back. So this also deals with the issue where people are saying, why are we still offering this loan component with 5%? So if you offer a 0%, a loan at 0%, a 2 million loan at 0%, it means the person will still have to pay back 2 million. So if you compare the payment of 0% loan at 2% at 0% and the loan at 60% grant and 40% loan, obviously it's clear that we are offering a package that is there to assist businesses to recover, because they only have to pay back 840,000 out of the 2 million that we've given them. The initial payment moratorium that we've put in place is up to a maximum of 12 months for small enterprises, and we're saying it's up to a maximum of 12 months because we know that businesses are not operating at the same rate. Because our focus now as a department, we are looking at supporting businesses based on their cash flow, because we know that most, especially Black-owned businesses, they don't have the collateral, so they cannot produce anything to put against the loan. So we base our support on the cash flow. So if a person would be able to generate more income within 2 months, that person can start paying back. But if the person will not be able to generate money within those 2 months, we give them, some time to recover so that they are able to pay back the money without any pressure. So we prioritizing those 2 provinces, KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, but we are not closing out the other provinces. The repayment period, we have extended it to a maximum of 60 months. Maximum funding accessible per entity is 2 million. We are also, Chair, offering pre-investment support to make sure that SMEs find it easier to package their applications. So CEDA is there to ensure that all the compliance requirements are met, but also we are offering post-investment. We are not just giving people money and moving away. We want to monitor and see how these businesses assist the country to grow and to create more jobs. So we'll be offering this post-investment support to assist our SMEs to stand, and also even those that require maybe to do business differently after this looting and destruction, we do offer that kind of support with modernization and all these other things that are required by SMEs. These are the requirements which we've simplified, because there needs to be some evidence that there was looting and destruction. So obviously the case number has to be part of that, be a registered legal entity. And this is, I must emphasize, Chair, that this is the criteria for formal businesses. They must have been in operation as 30 June. They must be compliant obviously with SARS. We also, Chair, using this opportunity, because we know that some SMEs have registered in our SME database, which is a very, very critical tool to assist government to develop policies. We want them to register on the SME SA database, which is growing almost every day. So far, we have over 230,000 SMEs. We know that we are still need to get as many SMEs registered in this database for us to be able to utilize it effectively for policy development. We're saying preference will be given to those two provinces, but also to avoid double dipping, we need to have this affidavit confirming that the business is not insured. We also have a separate package designed specifically for informal traders, which we call informal trader support package. These are some of the documents that are required upfront as we are dealing with taxpayers' money. So we need to be careful in terms of how we disperse the funding that we have. FICA documentation to confirm where the person lives, ID copies, 3 months bank statement, latest annual financial statements, 3 years cash flow projections, which will also assist SMEs, because we need to see that this business will be able to turn around its situation, will be able to pay back the money that is advanced to the SME, copy of lease agreement or proof of ownership, facility statement for other funders, so that we are able to assist these businesses to be able to pay back the money, quotations as well for applied funding, so that we can know which equipment or machinery is required, and also make sure that the codes are comparable, and then the detailed breakdown on application of funds, including salaries, so that we can be able to support you to get back to your feet as an SME. These are the contact details. We had established a dedicated email address, which is brp@sifa.org.za, and also we have a hotline which is manned by a number of people. So far, we had more than 10 people manning the hotline to make sure that we don't have people who are not getting their calls answered. You can also send an email to info@dsbd. And then upon receipt of this application, they are reviewed, and completed application are subjected to due diligence exercise and subsequently submitted to SIFA for approval to fast track the process. Follow-ups are made with SMEs whose funding applications are incomplete, so that SEDA can intervene and assist them to submit the outstanding documentation. Those that require non-financial support are also referred to Small Enterprise Development Agency for further handling. The budget that we have, Chair, so far is over 300 million that we had to reprioritize from other interventions. We believe that we'll be able to support around 150 small businesses, predominantly in KZN and KwaZulu-Natal. Then we have a dedicated scheme, Chair, that is for informal traders, where we are providing financial and non-financial support to people who are in the streets, the informal businesses. We believe that we should be able to support more than 17,000 entrepreneurs, where we're giving them a once-off grant of 3,000 just to assist them to recover in terms of their stock. We also do provide business development support, because, Chair, we want to make sure that the support that government provides is followed up. We see these businesses grow over a period of time. So the business development support is intended to make sure that whatever support is provided is looked at as an investment by government, and we are able to follow it up and make sure that these people who are supported are able to grow their businesses and assist the country to create the jobs that we require. This is the criteria which we've also simplified, that you must have an ID, should have a bank account, but if you do not have, we also assist you. We've negotiated with some of the banks to allow our SMEs to, informal businesses in particular, to have access to banking facilities, because we are dealing with taxpayers' money. Definitely, the money has to go to a valid bank account. We are not asking for any minimum turnover for vendors, because we know the kind of businesses they are operating, but they must also be willing to participate in the business development support process that we are offering. We are saying preference will be given to businesses owned by women, youth, and people with disabilities. And then applying entities in this category, they don't need to be registered with CIPC or SARS due to their size and status of operation. We do have a partnership. We've made a call out to various entities to assist us to ensure that this support goes out as quickly as possible. So far, we have Nedbank in the stable. They are offering support and they are not charging us for this support, which is most welcome, because it means the money that we have set aside goes directly to supporting the informal businesses. We do have partnerships with various informal traders associations to package applications and verify the operations of the informal traders, because it assists us with issues around verification, because informal traders associations, they will know who's operating where, in which corner, so they will be able to assist us with quickly packaging of these applications. We're dispersing this grant funding via the Nedbank facility to provide. They will also provide periodic reporting to us on all the dispersed funds, so that to provide post-funding support where necessary. Chair, just to add that we do have this interim relief measure that was introduced when the president spoke. He did indicate that the business licensing requirements, there will be a moratorium on permits, because we understand that most informal businesses really were affected by COVID even before the recent looting. So they need some sort of a relief measure. So through the Businesses Act, it was transferred to us last year, October. We've issued directives to put a moratorium on all permits and business license requirements until 31 December 2022. This, we believe, will reduce the cost of doing business for the period covered by the moratorium, because we know that as people are losing jobs, most of them, the first thing they do is to start an informal business. So if there are these requirements in terms of license fees, because we know that some municipalities charge over 4,000 for a permit. So a person who has just lost a job, they will never be able to have that money to start a business. So this will also assist us to address the unemployment problem we're having in the country. This, we believe, we expect this to assist our SMEs to plow back the money that they have into their respective businesses to help them grow. But we'll also encourage SMEs to comply with the Businesses Act, reduction of the cost of finance of borrowing for SMEs and cooperatives, because we know that some of the informal businesses, they rely on machonistas. So this intervention really will assist them not to have to go to machonistas for whatever support they require. We believe that the increase in the grant component and reduction in the debt component through our blended finance model, as I indicated earlier, will make funding more accessible to SMEs and cooperatives, especially those that are in the informal sector, because it will assist them to deal with the gearing issue. Chair, we thought we should also provide this update that the businesses that were supported through SAFER, who were affected, 6 in Gauteng, 4 are in the food retail and 2 are in the fuel retail. All 6 of them are covered, and the exposure of the SAFER is around 12 million. And KwaZulu-Natal, 5 businesses were impacted, and all 5 of them were covered. The exposure of SAFER in these businesses is 2 million. So 14 million of the money that was advanced to small businesses is safe, because they were covered in terms of insurance, so there will be no need for them to access this support. And then lastly, Chair, information as of the 20th of August, we've so far received 30 applications from KwaZulu-Natal, and then Gauteng, both South and North, 29 applications. The value of the applications from KZN is 30 million. And then some of these 13 of the 80 applications that have been submitted to the value of 15.5 million are being processed. The other ones are being supported because it's businesses that submitted applications that did not have full documentation. So SEDA is intervening in this space to ensure that these businesses are able to submit complete applications. We believe that today we'll be able to approve some of these applications for all KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng South, as well as Gauteng North. We believe that approvals will be finalized today so that businesses can get back to business as soon as possible. Chair, this is the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Chairperson, thank you. We are done from the departmental side. We hand over back to yourselves.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, DG. This is really progressive. I will now invite members to deliberate with the presentation, and then I will come in later. Honorable members, here's the presentation on how the department will be trying to assist those affected areas, but also to assist informal and formal traders across the board. Can we engage? King, you'll assist me to identify hands? Yes.
It's Honorable Hendricks or Honorable Kruger or de Villiers so far.
Yes. Then these are the only three hands.
So far, yes.
Okay.
But there's Honorable Jacobs.
Okay. Honorable Hendricks, you may start, please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, I had to tell Parliament how you brought so much comfort to so many people on the 5-day visit. I also told Parliament that we're very excited to have a new minister and a new deputy minister, and we look forward to their leadership. With regard to the presentation on the issue of licenses and permits, you know, Honorable Chair, that has been delegated to the Small Business Development Department. At the moment, it is in the hands largely of municipalities, and we've had so many problems with municipalities taking so long to issue permits, especially to informal traders, with the result that the President stepped in and said that these permits will be free. And it cannot be that we allow municipalities, especially in the city of Cape Town and the city of Johannesburg, they are continuing confiscating goods from informal traders. It is not foreigners, it is our own people that they are confiscating goods from. So I think that we need a response from the minister on what she's going to do to make sure that her department gets ready to issue permits with as much, with no red tape involved, especially now during the pandemic and after the unrest. Even if it is reducing red tape to a minimum for 6 months or a year, I feel that must be done, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, there were references to unemployment, and as you know, that number one, South Africa has been rated as the most unequal country in the world, and now we are rated as the country with the most unemployment in the world. Now that cannot be. So I think the reason is because government does not have a policy on employment. And when the minister introduces a green paper on employment, because it's closely related to small business development, creating jobs, she may do it in conjunction with the Department of Labor. And when there's an opportunity to comment, Al-Jamaa will call for full employment. It's only when we take such bold moves that the country can move forward, so that from being rated as having the worst unemployment rated in the world, we cannot now come with stopgap measures. We have to take the bull by the horns and say, for example, that South Africa will have a policy on employment, on creating jobs, on developing small businesses, is to create full unemployment. And there are many countries in the world who have full unemployment. And the criteria for full unemployment is not necessarily 100%. There are internationally recognized benchmarks to be classified as having full employment. So I feel that is something that is necessary, because this cannot continue. With regard to the localization program, we feel that the President has raised this in 2 State of the Nation addresses, and he looks to small business development to take the lead, and we certainly have not taken the lead as we should have. There's 1,000 products. Only a few have been worked on. Some good progress has been made as supermarkets now list these products, give them shelf space. And this gives our entrepreneurs in the townships and disadvantaged areas an advantage, which will address the imbalances of the past. So, Honorable Chair, I have a lot more to say, but let me just leave it at the policy on unemployment and the issue of permits. And maybe you must tell the minister and the deputy minister who your last board is. Having said that, the previous ministers have given undertakings for the Cape Flats. As you know, the colours are the Cinderellas in South Africa, and that's where they live, mostly on the Cape Flats. So the deputy minister spent a whole day with people in Mitchell's Plain, visited everyone, and there are 3 commitments that she has made, and I hope that the minister and the deputy minister will honor those commitments. And that is to create 20 business opportunities in Mitchell's Plain, also to buy a fishing vessel for the rural area called Mapani, which has an ocean and a forest, and where we have a constituency office. And then thirdly, they were looking at setting up a coffee shop for a young 21-year-old girl, assisted by a mother who has got Down syndrome. So I just want to leave that with the minister and deputy minister, and hope that they will respond to whether they are now just going to abandon that or carry on with the commitments of the previous minister and deputy minister. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Hendricks. I will now call upon Honorable Kruger.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm not going to put on my video. My internet's a bit unstable, and I don't look too good in any case for public viewing. Madam Chair, yes, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for the department's presentation. It gives us a lot of pride to see that department is acting on the big strategies that hit South Africa a few weeks ago, and it looks like they are on top of it. First of all, I want to congratulate them with the fact that they got rid of most of the red tape in filling in, in claiming for the money and the stuff they lost in the strategy. Talking about red tape, Madam Chair, I introduced a bill called Ease of Doing Business Bill, Private Members Bill, and it went to the PDME department, and they, of course, found it undesirable, public administration. So I want to request that we just dust this bill off and maybe introduce it as a committee's bill from this committee, because South Africa needs a serious reduction of red tape so that businesses can prosper in the future. That's one of the requests, Madam Chair. The second one is a comment I want to make about our oversight week in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. Small businesses suffer a lot. I mean, we all saw that. And we all saw the devastating effects what COVID brought to small business. But when MPs and staff members travel, they travel in aeroplanes and they stay in the best hotels where they can. And I want to propose that today, we as a committee make a commitment that we will never stay in hotels again. We will support small business. We will go to their bed and breakfast venues, and we will support, as government, we will support small businesses when we go on oversight or wherever we go to visit small businesses. We won't stay in this unbelievable hotels anymore, because that's not our place. I think we need to stay in small business guest houses. And I want us to make today a decision and say, never again will small business MPs stay in this unbelievable hotels and stay in guest houses. Thank you, Madam Chair, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Honorable Toga. I will now invite Honorable de Villiers.
Good morning, Chairperson. Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to just start by welcoming the new minister and thanking her for joining our committee. We hope to see much more of her, and we wish her luck in her oversight duties at the new ministry. Chairperson, just some comments on the presentation which we now saw. The first one, and I would also like to just start by saying thank you for the presentation. I think it was clear, it was concise. Considering that the riots were a month ago, I think it's good that we are moving at speed and that we are already talking about a program that's ready for execution. But it's in the execution of the program where I would just like to talk. As we saw with the COVID relief funding and with many other programs, often SEDA or SEFA receives a budget, but they don't spend it. They don't seem to be able to get enough SMEs or entrepreneurs or small business owners to come and actually use the program or use the funds that was put out for them. And I would like to ask that apart from this well thought program, which I acknowledge has got a good and sensible assistance plan for formal businesses as well as for informal businesses, I would like to see execution of that plan by SEDA and SEFA, by not just sitting in offices and waiting for people to come and take the program, but to actually go onto the ground with their agents. We all know where the rioting and the looting took place. We were there. It's not difficult to figure out. We would like to see the department and its agencies on the ground actively going to the entrepreneurs or the SMEs or the small business owners who's been affected, searching for them, finding them, and actually then telling them, this is the program, this is what we're going to do. I'm also willing to offer that the committee, that us as members of parliament can go and revisit and actually see some of the entrepreneurs which we saw on our first trip and help them with the necessary information to gain access to these programs, because these programs seem to never be taken up 100%. Then I would just like to say on the issue of permits, and the first speaker, Honourable Hendricks, also spoke about it. I see that they want to they suggest a moratorium on permits. Now, I've got no problem with saying that permits must be discounted or even given out for free, but you can't put a moratorium on permits. So you can't just say that people can go and establish their businesses wherever it suits them, because the permit system is also a way for local authorities, for municipalities to just bring order to the informal trading spaces or to the trading spaces. So I'm all for and in support of making the permits more affordable or even for free, but you can't do away with permits. You need permits in order for a local authority to control, because that was also, as you can remember, one of the biggest concerns of the informal traders which we saw on our tour, as the one gentleman who had tears in his eyes explained to us. He says he goes to the trouble of getting his permit, and then there are other businesses who just put up their businesses and they don't have the necessary permits. So we are a country of laws. We do need to regulate those small businesses as well, which does not mean we need to penalize them with hefty permit fees. It just means we need to regulate, because that's what governments do. And then I would just, and this is really part of getting us to assist the department in giving the information of these relief programs to the entrepreneurs or SMEs that were affected. I would like to ask that we as members of parliament and members of this committee get given the information in easily to use marketing material. So something that I can WhatsApp to some of the people which we met, something which we can email, just some digital marketing material which we can also give to our constituencies and send out to those people who have been affected, because we are all members in this committee, I know for a fact, are also willing to help, but we need the information, and we just need something to send out. So I'd like to ask the department to assist us with easy to use marketing material. Then I just want to say, as a last comment on something that Honourable Hendricks says, we saw yesterday that the unemployment rate has now broken a new record, and we have over 40 million people who are unemployed, whether they are actively or not actively looking for jobs anymore. The fact of the matter is we need to grow the economy to grow jobs. We don't need more policies on unemployment. We need to get working. The government needs to work so that business can do work. We don't need to tell business how to do business. We just need to create the climate in which business can actually employ people and just sell their products. We don't need fancy localization plans. We don't need and more policies. We just need to make it easy for business to do business. And with that, I say thank you very much, Chairperson.
Honorable Jacobs. Thank you, Honorable de Villiers.
Good morning, my chair, and greetings.
The stage
Good morning,
is
my chair. Oh, thank you very much. Let me also appreciate the presentation. I think it's very responsive, and it shows a responsive and caring government. And we want to commend Minister and a team that is listening to our people and also developing packages that is responsive. So we appreciate it, and certainly I think we must also be part of that, that will ensure that it's implemented. The week-long visit in quite an intense environment where we met almost morning, afternoon, and slots. We visited a lot of spaces, and the one group of people that we met, Chair, was the informal traders. And we are so pleased that we could meet informal traders, because sometimes you only think about the malls, you only think about big business and the damage that this looting caused to them. But I'm pleased that there's a package specially dedicated to informal traders. The informal traders are the ones that are survivalist entrepreneurs. They actually need that income to feed their families. And I was starkly reminded by the Isipingo visit, where you, Chair, you had to listen to a group of mainly elderly women, and where they lost everything. So a lot of the women that is in the informal traders are not as clued up with the online services and application process. A lot of those gogos won't be able to fill in an email or application process. So, my big concern is it's good on paper, but we must make it work in reality. And so, Minister, one of our recommendations as the portfolio committee was to say that let's get, if there's no capacity or limited capacity, let's get unemployed graduates on a short-term basis to go into informal trading areas and do the surveys, but also help with the filling up. So we don't need to pay people to fill the form, because what will happen, 10 to 1, someone will do that. But if government can help with that services, I think it's something that we need to consider. Because I also believe that the quicker we get informal traders to apply, the better it is for them to complete these forms. So I want to make that point. Debt relief is going to be key. And I'm glad that we're focusing on KZN and Gauteng. But I also want to appeal that government mustn't neglect other areas, other poverty pockets, other areas where the need is also dire and critical. So I went through the criteria, and the criteria says preference will be given to KZN and Gauteng, but it doesn't exclude applications from others. So I welcome that. Chair, I also want to address the issue of licensing and permitting. I heard the three previous speakers on this matter. And I think the one thing that we welcome, Minister, is that we must make it easy for our permit holders, those that are applying for business applications, to do business in a municipal space. But what we're picking up, and I want to use the example because I stay in Cape Town, we're seeing that Cape Town is deliberately making it very difficult for informal traders to trade. I've received 2 or 3 delegations from informal traders. The one from the Cape Parade, where they are complaining that the city is chasing away informal traders that have been historically. It's a culture, it's a heritage. Every Wednesday on the parade, on that plain there, informal traders from across the Cape Flats come there and sell their wares, and it's like a free market. But now the city is trying to take that permit away. People are being forcibly removed by Metro Police. And it's unacceptable that even in today, where people are struggling to put food on the table, we have municipalities like the city of Cape Town doing that. There's another example, Minister, where we want your intervention, also in Gatesville. So Gatesville is an area in the Athlone area, and informal traders have a harmonious relationship with existing businesses there. But even if you are a permit holder, the Metro Police comes there and confiscate under health and safety regulations. So they use bylaws and ordinance to assault our informal traders. So I guess the question I'm asking, with the regulations that your predecessor have promulgated, how can we ensure that municipalities implement this? Because we all have to work together, and we can't allow municipalities to do their own thing. And the municipalities must be responsive to the needs of our people. I think there's lots of recommendations that came out of our oversight visit, Minister. I think access to finance is a key one. And this program will go a long way to help our small businesses, especially in those areas that is affected. But I am asking that our department must jack up our capacity, and we must get quarterly reports, progress on how far they have, because we clearly know where the unrest happened, in what township, in what area, how much people. So we can reconcile if those 500 informal traders in Isipingo have lost everything in 3 or 4 months, can we reconcile and say the majority of them did apply and they got their 3,000 rand and they're operational again? Because that is a measure of success. That is a measure for us as members of a parliament, that we can go into that area again and say, our government came here, our chair of our portfolio committee listened, we took our report to the minister put the applications through, the department and the officials took the applications, we got the money to our people, and our people are working again. So that whole cycle, and we as MPs must be able to go to that constituency and say, we have listened and our government has cared and our government has delivered. So I wish the department well in the implementation, but you have our full support. I think it does show that our government does care and we are responsive to the needs of our people. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Jacobs. In the absence of any hands, okay.
Mr. April's hand was up and it seems as if it's down now. And then there is Honorable Matulelo.
Okay.
Thank you, Chairperson. My hand, I lowered my hand because I was covered by Honorable Faiz Jacobs.
Thank you. Honorable Matulelo.
Thank you, Chair. Am I audible on your side?
Yes, you are. Carry on.
All right, ma'am. Thank you. My request is there was some request from Gauteng where people needed a permanent solution. The hawkers and informal traders, where they were outside the mall, where they use the space as their market, where they need an intervention of the municipality to give them some shelters or whatever that is going to be proper to protect their stock. I think we should as well intervene on that one. The other thing is, I request that, Chair, we draw ourselves a time frame, and we divide whatever we are doing. Maybe we are going to start by collecting the information, maybe from now until which date. Then from there we are delivering to our people what we promised as during in our oversight. So I propose that we must have a time frame on whatever we are doing. I'm also surprised that Chair, you emphasized the issue of SIDA and SIFA to not to put the same requirements that we were using before any other any unrest, so that these people they are willing to submit to SIDA and SIFA, but they are given the same requirements. They are given the same documents to fill in, whereas lenza ke babe ba restricted from ukuthi ba qualify for relief as babe kwi problem ye unrest is not the same as umuntu makez applyela the as daily basis of intervention that we are doing. So I'm just appealing that we must see to it, and those forms that were circulated are very much difficult to meet their requirements. Is the same forms that we were using before the unrest. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Thank you. I will now invite the department to respond.
Sorry, Chair. Sorry, Chair.
Yes.
There is a hand from Inkosul Tuli.
Okay.
And I don't know whether Mr. Hanif, Mr. Hendricks wants to a second bite because his hand is up again.
Maybe it was a legacy hand.
Okay.
Honorable Hendricks, do you still have a second bite? Do you still have
please,
to
I'll appreciate it because some very important issues were raised, and I would like the minister to have a fuller picture.
I will allow you to have that second bite. Thank you. Honorable Inkosi Litule, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Chair, for that opportunity you are giving to me. My concern, Chair, is about the people in the rural areas, because some of them, I think they haven't got that expertise to fill it up the forms. Also, I would like to know how they are going to be assisted so that they can be able to get something. Because take, for instance, next to me, around in the area itself, we got a problem really with some other people. They can't even fill it up these forms. I would like to know to the department whether is there any assistance from that so that they can be able to put their proposal to the department. Also, there are certain things which I'm a little bit concerned about it. One of the other things is that we got a shopping center. I was very devastated if I saw that that shopping center in KZN is not even appeared to their report, which so that the department can know that there are that shopping center where it was burned down and during the unrest, and I'm having a problem. Why? Because already they came into the area, KZN came to the area to see that damage, but on the report there is nothing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Inkosili Tule. And then I will now invite the department to respond. It's up to you, Minister. Who should start? We have got the issues which relates to SIDA and SIFA here. The issues which relates to the department. So you will assist us with the head of the department. Maybe if I can highlight on the issues of moratorium on licenses and the issues of easy application, as well as the last one, which has just been indicated by Honorable Inkosi Litule on the issue of a shopping center in KZN. Maybe, Honorable Litule, if you can mention the name of the shopping center for easy response from the department, I will appreciate that before they respond. Honorable Inkosi,
the name of The name of the shopping center is Matulini Shopping Center in under Umzumbe municipality.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Minister, over to you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson, and thank you to the honorable members for the warm welcome and, of course, the engagements that we are having as we seek to unpack the work that we are doing. Honorable Chairperson, firstly, let me clarify the issue of the moratorium, that the moratorium is not on the permits or licenses, but it's on the fee that is imposed by the local authorities in order for small businesses to access the permits. So we are saying we're doing away for this period that they should be allowed not to pay. And of course, we are aware that there are local authorities that are still depriving our people of that opportunity. Hence, the minister issued the directives. So what we are doing, we're following up with all the municipalities that are not compliant. I will make an example with the city of Cape Town that has not been compliant, and the Director General of the department has written to them, and of course will escalate the matter if then that does not get addressed. So we do appeal to all honorable members to keep on updating us in the event, in the consequences there are members that experience such, that the local authorities are depriving them of the opportunity. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk to. The second issue, Honorable Chairperson, is the issue of the response towards the unemployment as numbers were released yesterday. Of course, our programs, honorable members, they intend to help reduce unemployment. And as the President has said, the only way for us to grow the economy and address some of the challenges is when we invest more on the small businesses. That's why if you're looking at the criterion that has been said there, we go to an extent of saying we even recognize informal traders and we provide support to them. We are cognizant of the digital technology, the digital challenges that we're experiencing in terms of older people not being able to fill in the forms because they're complicated, others are IT illiterates, but we have CEDA on board to say, how do we assist the small businesses in terms of filling in the forms? And of course, we do take note and the proposal that has been made by the honorable members to say probably we should also consider getting unemployed graduates. We will explore this, of course, working with the Department of Employment and Labor, wherein they can also come on board. Because one of the critical things, honorable members, we want to do is to spend more on the core business, not only on the support, but without leaving the support, because it's very critical. Because as the honorable member indicated earlier, if we keep on returning monies, it means we're not able to fulfill our mandate to the latter. And therefore, we're looking at the areas that affect that. And at the center of it is the ability to undertake business development and the other trainings that we must provide. Hence, CEDA is on board. Hence, we are also planning to partner with other CETAs and therefore get people to go out there and assist those that we have to assist. The commitment by our predecessors in Michelle's plane, DG, you have not briefed me on this and the minister has not briefed me. So I take it that the DG will talk to it and we will see how it finds expression or how have they infused it in the department's plan. It is important indeed that we reach out to all small businesses and informal traders in their respective areas without giving the entire focus only on KZN and Gauteng. If you looked at the statistics that were given yesterday in terms of the provinces that are really affected, you will see Eastern Cape is high, you see Northern Cape, I think it's number 2. So we are also looking at those because ours, as much as we are saying, we are looking at addressing the challenges because of the uprisings, but we still have that departmental commitment and mandate that we must reach out in terms of assisting the SMEs. That's why I would urge the honorable members to also help us as we advance our call towards the National Treasury to ensure that they can bring more to the kitty so that we can reach many small businesses and be able to assist them. The issue of localization as announced by the President is very important. If you look at the criterion of the businesses that we support, we have manufacturing as one of them. As the DG indicated, we have about 1,000 products that we want to put in the market. We will also be participating in the Dubai Expo. And all of this is meant to say South Africa is a very innovative country, and we also have a responsibility to reindustrialize by making sure that at least in every ecosystem, we can identify a particular component that can be produced in South Africa, so that even though we are participating in global trade, but we can find products that are South African in character. And SIFA is working hard on this, of course, working with DTIC, Science and Innovation, and the other departments that are involved. So we are really going to be enhancing our efforts towards that localization in terms of the support, which takes me to another point, honorable members, that we may be coming back to Parliament to get support on the review of how far we can go with SIFA in terms of the funding that we provide as we look at the economic conditions and the demands that come with it and the amount of support that we have to provide to these small businesses that must grow and get to be medium, and they can get to be big businesses so that we can keep on bringing other ones on board. Of course, the issue of red tape is a challenge, and we do acknowledge this is why SIFA has returned to the department to say, we are aware that the shareholder had given us this amount that must be distributed, and then we follow these processes. But then there are areas that we believe that we can relax without undermining the law, and the department and SIFA are engaging on that to say what are the areas wherein we can then relax, but without undermining the law. Because unfortunately, this is the money that belongs to the state. And as I said, the PFMA finds expression in everything. In areas where we can get exemption, we will then approach National Treasury to allow us to do so. The other question, because others were comments, and I do take note of the online applications, I've responded to that. The space that is required by the hawkers in Gauteng, we can make a follow-up with the local authorities on that, and then we check what is it that we can do, including the case that Ingo Silutulu spoke to, in terms of the people in the rural areas who do not have expertise, and the shopping center that was destroyed. I would like to invite the DG or the CE of SIFA to talk to that if indeed they have not received the application. Honorable members, let me put this. SIFA receives lots of applications. It's not like we're running short of applications. Small businesses do apply, but there's certain things that they do not comply with, which is why we are saying we are trying to strengthen that arm to say, we go out and say, we have this budget that we have that we need to disperse in order to assist you in the work that you are doing, but we need you to follow A, B, C, D, because there's certain things that we cannot escape. And as part of professionalizing the sector, we have to assist them where they have to do that. That's why SIFA is working jointly with CEDA in ensuring that they meet each other halfway, whilst I did indicate that certain things from the policy side that can be relaxed, we will be attending to those. Allow me to then invite the DG honorable members or the CE to come on board and respond to certain questions that I may not have spoken to. DG, over to you. Thank you so much, honorable members.
Thanks, Minister. I think you covered a lot of questions. But on the last one, Honorable Lutuli, on the infrastructure like shopping centers, we refer those applications because there is a specific intervention from the DTI called the Critical Infrastructure Grant. Those are the people who are supporting the shopping centers. So we will definitely ask colleagues who are based in KwaZulu-Natal, they are here on the platform from SEDA office to assist the shopping mall owners to go and package the application. Then we will forward it to DTIC because they do have a facility for infrastructure. Minister, can I request the executive responsible for lending to clarify on the issue of the stringent measures that were put here on the platform that we still have those stringent measures so that he can address that issue. Thanks, Minister. To me.
Thank you, DG. Good morning, honourable members and honourable Chair, Minister, DG and colleagues. In terms of the requirements for the business recovery support packages, what we did as CIFA is that we took a leaf out of the COVID relief program that we delivered last year and looked at how we simplified some of the requirements. And therefore, and we saw that many businesses were actually able to meet those requirements. So we really stripped it to the absolute bone in terms of the requirements that we have put forward for this package. One of the things that we are very careful of, because we are expending taxpayers' money, is that we do not want any abuse of funds. As members would be aware, Honourable Chair, we get audited as CIFA, and in fact, we've just completed our annual audit, and it was a clean audit, including the COVID relief program. So one of the things we want to make sure, once again, with this intervention, that we are held up to any form of scrutiny in terms of ensuring that only businesses that deserved to benefited, and that we don't end up having funds going to individuals who actually are not running businesses. So the requirements have really been stripped to the bone. We've also said to applicants, where your business premises have been destroyed and you do not have access to a computer, you do not have access to any manner to apply, we work with CEDA, and CEDA has made their offices available for those business owners to come forward and submit the necessary information so we can help package the applications properly and process them accordingly. Thank you, members.
Thank you. Honorable Hendricks wanted a second bite. Can you speak?
Thank you, Honourable Chair, for the second bite. Honourable Chair, I'm not happy with the Minister's response in regard to permits. There is legislation that requires the department to issue the permits and take it away from the municipalities. I don't like this idea of writing to the City of Cape Town and telling them to be compliant. They will never be compliant. You see, Honourable Chair, the permit system is there for apartheid spatial planning. You won't find trading areas in white areas where actually the money is. You won't find trading areas next to strip malls in white areas and where there are business areas. That's where the money is. And that is important for social cohesion. It cannot be that trading areas must be outside white areas. I know that there is a fear of black creep to these white areas. Minister, you must be bold. You have the power in your hands. Legislation has changed, giving small business development department the power to issue the permits themselves. And I don't know why you are hesitating to take the bull by the horns. With regard to CEDA, I must say there is an improvement. We are encouraging our people to come to our parliamentary constituency offices. CEDA comes there and assists them. And in Mitchell's Plain, already 3 applicants in disadvantaged areas have gone to the 4th round, and they may even get funding. You know, we must have policies, Minister. We are not a banana republic. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Hendricks. Honorable Minister, can you respond on that one of permits by the department if you have got any knowledge? If not, because you are still new, we'll allow you to come back to us at any given time. But my understanding was that that moratorium may assist in the meantime if that pieces of legislation is not yet ready, because there is huge resistance from municipalities. Again, before you respond on Honorable Hendricks' call, I would like SEDA to, there was an issue of appointing graduates to assist to speed up the process. I would like to hear the department also responding on that one, Honorable Minister, through the DG. Let me give you an opportunity and then I will summarize the whole discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. And Honorable Hendricks, you are correct to say we need to do more. But as the chairperson was indicating, we're in a process of reviewing the Business Act number 71 of 1991 in order to address that. In the previous regime, the powers were devolved to the provinces and the municipalities. So we're trying to address those. Hence, in the immediate, the minister had to issue the moratorium that people shouldn't be deprived of opportunities to go to areas where they are profit making. So we carry it in a two-way process. Once we're introducing the moratorium that is there, that we're trying to enforce in all manner, but we're also not pausing on the process of coming back to Parliament and deal with the legislation that will then close all of this. Indeed, there is no body that has a right to deprive any other person where others can participate in the country, and the Constitution is very clear. We enjoy the equal rights as long as we are South Africans and those that are in. So it's very important. So I fully agree with you that we will be bringing that. We will work hard in enforcing, but unfortunately, as things stand with the moratorium, there's certain processes that we have to undertake. Hence, I said we then escalate the matters wherein we see that there's no compliance. So far, that's what we can do. On the issue, Chairperson, of the unemployed graduates, I did say earlier that we will consider, but as I'm saying that, we are looking at the budgets that we have, and then I said we will reach out also to the Department of Labor and Unemployment to say, can they join hands so that we can be able to provide that assistance. If the DG has further details on this, I will allow him to come and then talk to it if he has further information outside what I've said. Thank you, Chairperson, once more.
Thank you. DG, do you have anything to say?
No, Chair, I will abide by the Minister's conclusions because the issue of the budget is the main one. I think through SEDA, we had piloted this through Mpumalanga, and it's a very important intervention because it allows those unemployed graduates to do something and earn some money. So the discussions that the Minister is talking about with Department of Labor as well as Department of Higher Education and Training are ongoing, as well as all the SETAs, because they do have the resources that can assist. So those discussions are ongoing, Chair. As soon as we have something, definitely we'll have to come back to the committee. Thanks.
Thank you, DG. Honorable members and Honorable Minister and your team, thank you so much. I think this was a fruitful discussion. We are happy. What we're going to do is to make sure that we follow a plan by doing oversight, as well as going back, even if not physically, according to Honorable de Villiers. I think in our recommendations, we have indicated that we will monitor this program. Again, we will make sure that we visit other provinces, not physically, we'll do it virtually so that we are sure about the developments into those areas. And we said we'll also invite the Department of Economic Development, because they do have LEDs in their municipalities, can make sure that the message is spreading to all those levels rather than to rely on the department alone. But what I want to caution the DG through your agencies is that SEDA is assisting. We appreciate that, but the issue of calling people to their offices for training, that must that must come to an end, because those people do not have money. A person cannot travel more than 80 kilos
to go for training. SEDA have got resources. They must arrange those places in their areas to go and train them. Again, the issue of taking them by 40, the number is very little. This is an intervention. Let's try to improve everything so that we bring life back to those people. I appreciate that the minister will make some follow-ups on the initiatives made by the previous DM together with the DM, so that those issues or those promises made into those areas are being taken care of. But we'll appreciate in the meantime to have that letter which you have communicated to those municipalities to can be able to assist our informal traders to get those permits. Indeed, municipalities are resisting. They are saying that this is our resolution in the municipalities to can be allowed to give them free. We will have to go back to the council and we find out that they will take 3 months to go to the council, and our people are waiting here for permits, even if that pronouncement have been made by the president. So if we can be assisted to get that communique to those municipalities so that we can have a honorable minister can be able to assist our people. Yes, we may use our constituents offices to disseminate the information. But all in all, from my side, I appreciate, and also members in their deliberation indicated that they are happy about the program, but what is critical should be the execution of these programs. Thank you so much. King, do we have any other item?
Yes, Chairperson, it's the consideration of minutes that were sent to
Yes.
members.
Can you flag them on the screen? I believe members have written to just check, correct them and adopt them. Honorable members, I'm inviting corrections. So in this page, which is page 1, is there any correction?
Chair.
Yes.
I thought Oprah King will and yourself will release the department and the minister. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks to that advice, Honorable Minister and DM and your team.
Chairperson?
Yes.
Just
yes.
Before it is Honorable April speaking. Just before you allow the minister and the department to go, can I please have just one observation point to make?
Okay, do so.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. My observation point that I would want to make quickly is just the fact that the amalgamation process of SEDA and CIFA and CBDA is some of the things that we've been working on as the portfolio committee. It's very disheartening that we were informed about the process of the amalgamation in the media. And I think it would have, in future, things should not happen like this. We should be taken into the confidence by the department and the ministry about things like this before we hear it in the media. I think it is really not something that we must just overlook. It is something that we should not let reoccur in the future. I just wanted to make that observation, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Noted. I think the minister heard you. Thank you, Honorable April. Honorable Minister, DM.
Honorable can I my apologies that I'm coming back after. I just thank you, Chair, with your permission. just to respond to what Honorable April spoke about, the government processes require that the department take the process first to cabinet. Because if we brief Parliament before Cabinet approves, Cabinet may reject it and therefore would have misled Parliament. That's why it is the thinking of the department that must find expression in Cabinet that is responsible for establishing or de-establishing or re-establishing structures in government. And then after that process, we then take it to Parliament. So I assume that was the reason the matter was not brought to the Portfolio Committee on time. Because they have to first get Cabinet's approval. And again, as I explained in terms of the media, because Cabinet always issue Cabinet statements immediately after the Cabinet has said. So it is something that is beyond the department's responsibility once more. So I want to explain just the processes, because it is the thinking of the department into what must happen, and then it finds expression to Cabinet okays, and then we take it to Parliament for the legislative route.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that clarity. I will now release you with your team as requested by our content advisor. Then, King, you will proceed with the minutes. Any correction on this page? Go to the next page. Any correction? Any correction? Any correction? No correction. Proceed. Any correction? I assume that this is a true reflection. Can I have a mover for the adoption of the minutes as a true reflection of what transpired during this day? Honorable April, can you move for the adoption, please?
I was trying to give someone else a chance. I move for the adoption as a true reflection of the meeting.
Thank you. Any seconder? Mr.
I will second, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Kruger. We have come to the end of our meeting, honorable members. Thank you for your participation.
No, Chair, it's not the only one set.
Oh, I thought there was more new minutes.
Can I request the chairperson that we have been emailed these minutes? Can we have read them also? Is it possible?
Can I request the movers for the adoption? How many sets are left, King?
It was 4 sets of minutes, Chair.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
With this one of the 12th of August 2021, can I have a mover for the adoption?
I move for the adoption of the minutes. I have seen it and I have read it.
Thank you. Any seconder? Honorable Jacobs, where are you?
I'm here, Chair.
Yeah, can you second? Thank you.
Yes, I second, sorry.
Thank
I'm
you.
here, I second.
Thank you. Any other set? Brakim?
So it's a set of the 2nd of June, Chairperson.
Yes, I can see them. Any mover for the adoption of the minutes of the 2nd June 2021?
2nd June 2021, I move for the adoption of the minutes.
Thank you. Any seconder?
I second, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Libengo. The next set, Honorable King. King, sorry. I'm promoting him.
So it's one of the 18th of June.
No,
August.
no.
I mean, 18th of August. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah, can I have a mover for the adoption of the minutes of the 18th of August 2021?
Wednesday, 18 August 2021. I move
Yes.
the adoption of the minutes as a true reflection.
Thank you, Honorable April. Any seconder?
I'm here to second, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Rengo. Do we still have another set? That was the last one.
It was the last one, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Do you still have any other item except this one, because I'm not able to see the agenda?
No.
Well done.
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Let me take this opportunity to thank you all, our honorable members, as well as our officials. And then we'll move forward. We'll plan, as I've indicated in my conclusion, that we'll have to prioritize those visits virtually to other provinces where we'll engage, because to be able to find the facts on the ground, we'll need also our entrepreneurs in those areas. So our researchers must assist us in all the provinces, and then we'll categorize which one do we start with. To be able to deal with the issue of unemployment, we need to do something. We need to monitor and we need to engage. Everyone must account. The DDM model must assist us, which is the district development model, to can make sure that we touch all the spheres of government without any fear or favor as a collective. Then we'll be able to eradicate this poverty and unemployment. Honorable members, thank you so much. The meeting stands adjourned.
Long live the Chair.
Thank you, Papa.
Recording stopped.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Brakim.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Sis Lorraine.
Mr. Mienzongena manje meeting.
Okay. Is early for the next meeting.
For the next meeting. Yes.
Honorable Mayor, how are you? Honorable Mayor, how are you? Poor network.
How are you, Chairperson?
I'm fine.
Hey, I was attending the funeral of the king's wife, man.
Yeah,
but I did phone King this morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Your apology was tendered and it was accepted. It's part of your responsibility. We can't run away from that. You need to provide leadership during this difficult period. But thanks for coming. You are early for the next meeting, not this one. We're done with this one. But it was excellent.
Thanks.
They will give you the documents to share.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you,
Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Braking.